my comment. I'm curious, are you a Trump supporter comment? Deleted. But why would she delete it, you ask? Let's do some research.
She looks at me and she goes, "You need to speak English to work here."
Now I know you're asking, but Liz, it's not good to be racially profiled. Oh, no, absolutely not. I agree with you. You shouldn't be racially profiled. Before I feel some of that empathy, let's go look at her reposts. Let's click it.
Immigrant accused of murdering Laken Riley.
Fighting for her life, fighting for her breath. That happens across this country almost every day by an illegal alien. So I want those sanctuary city people out there saying they're going to push back on ICE. Listen to that and tell me, I just said President Trump wants to take public safety threats off the street. That's a priority.
So obviously it's horrible what happened to Lincoln Riley. But what you're saying is that we need to up ICE enforcement to get undocumented immigrants out. Okay. So you voted for Trump. You're voting for Trump and you're upset that you got racially profiled as a Latina. We need to be careful where we put our empathy at because she voted for this. This is exactly what she voted for. It was a white woman asking her, "But do you speak English?" Where do you think she got that confidence to be able to ask you that? Where do you think that came from? The person you voted for and is in office right now. All immigrants, doesn't matter if you were born here, are being discriminated and racially profiled because of the person you voted for. So you are upset that it's happening to you? What do you think it's happening to everybody else? Maybe that doesn't have such a great way of speaking English like you do. So this was her repost when I made that comment. This was my comment that she deleted. I'm curious, did you vote for Trump? And now she has hidden her reposts. So she's confirming that she's a Trump supporter. So no, I don't feel sorry for you. And you got exactly what you voted for.
Pero like Sylvia, aren't you a Trump supporter? Sylvia here went to a Trader Joe's to try to apply for a job. The manager took one look at her and said, "Do you even speak English?" Probably was thinking in her mind, you look Mexican. Are you even legal to work here, Sylvia? As soon as Sylvia got in her car, she made a TikTok, trying to find a community of Latinas and Latinos to feel bad for her. And me, I was ready to fight. I was ready to go find out who this manager is. But I did some digging, and Sylvia is a Trump supporter. See, Sylvia, normally I would put up a fight, girl, because I got a big mouth, except you support an administration that had the Supreme Court pass laws that make it legal for all Latinos to be racially profiled. You don't like it when it happens to you. It's okay when it happens to everyone else, but not to Sylvia Aguilera. What did you think was going to happen? You thought you were going to come to the internet, to TikTok, and find some empathy from Latinos? Te equivocaste. Because we don't support anyone that supports the administration that has treated our community like animals, that has separated families, that has taken the lives of many in detention centers. You want our empathy, but yet you're the one that reposts videos that support ICE and this administration? And by the way, you quickly put your account on private. You don't have anything to say? After we find out that you're a Trump supporter, we have no empathy for Latinas like you. Latinas that are only Latinas when it's convenient to them, but not when it matters.
Mario Guevara, the founder of Latinos for Trump, has reportedly been deported to El Salvador after spending about 110 days in ICE custody. And what makes this story stand out is that he wasn't just like an immigrant impacted by the system, right? He actively supported and campaigned for Donald Trump, the same political movement tied to the immigration enforcement system that detained and ultimately deported him from the United States. So you're left with this really stark contradiction, right? Like, Someone who has been backing a system that openly harms people and then becoming a victim to that same system. And this isn't just about this one person, right? Like, it is a reminder that immigration enforcement doesn't really operate based on political loyalty or who you support. I think a lot of these like POC for Trump groups operated under the assumption that because they supported this administration, they were safe from the harm that this administration subjected onto their communities. And now I think a lot of people are starting to realize that being aligned with the system doesn't automatically protect you from it, especially for marginalized groups. Support or proximity to power doesn't always translate into safety. And I feel like any rational person could have told you that, but we're not dealing with rational people, are we? This is terrible.
I will vote for Donald Trump. Latinos for Trump and pro-MAGA journalist Mario Guevara was deported to El Salvador after spending 110 days in ICE custody. And more than a third of Hispanic Trump voters say they regret voting for him. You see what happens when you try to align with white supremacy and your skin ain't fully white? They get your vote, they were like, yeah, we got you, we you. And then once they have your vote, they're like, yeah, you, we gonna deport you, we gonna deport your family. If you ain't legit, get the out of my country. And now you guys finally learn, no matter how much you try to align with white supremacy, no matter how much you want to be like, I'm one of y'all, I even married a white woman, look at me, I'm next to y'all, oh, I'm a good boy, I'm a good blue-collar worker, help me, Donald Trump. They don't give a single They only look for you for your vote. Once they have that, they don't even see you as human. You was in ICE custody for 110 days, and you was advocating for this. You was one of the main people. You helped get him elected. And what did he do for you? He held you in custody for 110 days, then shipped your ass right back to El Salvador. So I hope it was worth it trying to align with white supremacy. But white supremacy is always going to let you know that you ain't fully white if you ain't fully white.
Founder of Latinos for Trump just denounced Donald Trump over the ICE raids that are currently taking place in Los Angeles. Here is what Leanne Garcia, the founder of the group, just said in response to the LA raids. Quote, I am deeply disappointed by these actions. This is not what we voted for. I have always supported Trump through thick and thin. However, this is unacceptable and inhumane. So let's rewind to what she said there about not voting for this. Yes, you did, Leanne Garcia. You guys were calling for mass deportations. I mean, there were signs at the RNC that said mass deportations now. And now that Donald Trump is president, he's carrying out the mass deportations. And this is what it looks like. It's Donald Trump's Gestapo tear gassing people. And don't claim you didn't see this coming, because he tear gassed protesters during his first term. So yes, this is exactly what you and the Latinos for Trump voted for. I can't even believe that's a group. It's like chickens for KFC. Anyway, this is what you voted for.
We are on fire. We're being burnt down to the floor.
I think some things do need to change. I just think what we're doing may not be working.
This is the border barrier. The other side, Matamoros, Mexico. This is a battleground congressional district and a border town. And being here, just a reminder that an issue that could be a huge asset for Trump and the Republicans. Donald Trump campaigned on reducing, stopping illegal border crossings. Those numbers are way down. So the immigration issue could be a big asset. Instead, though, because of something else, it's turned into a huge liability.
The immigration stuff that's going on, maybe having a better control over ICE, maybe go after the true criminals, leave the Willows and Abuelitas alone. You know, they've been here forever.
I am concerned about borders. I think there is a whole argument to make about border security. Being a Hispanic, I think that there does need to be some empathy.
Did the Texas Republicans place too big of a bet on the hope that Latinos would stay with Republicans, that the Latinos who voted for Trump would stay with them in 2026? If they place too big of a bet, then this seat stays Democratic. And if this seat stays Democratic, well, then Democrats are taking the House. And that completely changes the Trump presidency.
A lot of the stuff he's doing, I don't agree with.
So he's lost his juice with you a
He's
little
lost
bit.
his juice just because of the methods of the way he's doing it.
What are Latinos for Trump going to do when Trump's presidency ends? Don't forget that these people have been desperate for acceptance, desperate for approval, and desperate to want to be white for the past 10 years now. And Trump has never even acknowledged their existence. I mean, if Marco Rubio's humiliation at the Shield of America summit showed us anything, is that Trump does not care. Trump was disgusted. Trump was laughing. And even after being humiliated to his face, Marco Rubio was still craving acceptance. Hegseth and Trump made it very clear that they don't see him as an American. It doesn't matter how hard he tries to fit in, they will never see him the same. And all Latinos for Trump are like this. So what are they gonna do when Trump is out of office? They're still not going to be white, they still haven't been accepted, they're still being laughed at behind closed doors and even in their face at this point. So what are they going to do? Who are they going to worship next? A lot of Latinos for Trump have been outcasted by their families, rightfully so. So what's next for Latinos for Trump? But anyways, let me know what you guys think.
I think, when people say like, oh, we deserve like all these horrible things, all this pain, it's like, hold on, like he never campaigned saying, okay, all the good people who, worked really hard and are not even undocumented. That's the point though, that some people are not even illegal. They're not undocumented. They have paperwork in process. They're showing up to court. They have asylum. They have TPS. They have all these different statuses. So that's by definition not illegal if you have a different status. They never said they were getting rid of those people.
If you're Latino and you're supporting Trump, what the fuck is wrong with you?
So my last video got taken down and I'm making it again because one thing we're not gonna do is silence me. So because we're Latino, we're supposed to vote for Kamala. We're supposed to vote for her because, oh, she's good vibes and she's a woman of color, blah, blah, blah. And, she's all about joy and feelings, but won't even mention the economy. The economy that has our people. This lady says that we hate our people so bad, yet our people are over here. Most of our people can't even afford gas or groceries. But we're supposed to vote for her because she says all the right things. And yeah, Trump, he says some idiotic things, but guess what? People could afford to live when he was in presidency. And at least he cared about protecting the people that are already here. Our people, like our family, our kids, and our mom and grandparents and stuff like that, our people. Because right now we have anybody and everybody coming in. Doesn't matter if they have a criminal record or not. And here they are getting like $10,000 a month. And yet they turn around and they're murdering innocent babies and leaving them in ditches tortured. But oh yeah, we don't care about our people, right? And because we're Latino, we're supposed to support the agenda where our kids in school have to call the teacher they, thee, hi, ho, hum, ho. Like, what is that? And then let grown men go into the women's bathroom with kids. We're supposed to support that because we're Latino. And because we're Latino, we're supposed to support the, not just, the right to murder the innocent, but the obsession that you even have a freaking truck outside of the DNC, like it's like a taco truck, doing that, slaughtering the innocent. We're supposed to be behind that because we're Latino. Because if that's the case, go ahead, revoke my Latino card, uninvite me to the carne asada, whatever. It's funny, y'all are like, oh, you want to be white so bad, but yet y'all are the same people that don't even show your kids Spanish. My kids probably speak more Spanish and can run circles around your kids. So, whatever. Think what y'all want. I don't care. You're not going to bully or try to intimidate me into voting the way you want me to. And just for the record, my mom is from Mexico. She came in here the legal way, went through a whole process, and has been here working for years. And I have nothing against that, but it's the ones that come in here that just don't want to work, and their goal is to depend on the government and cause chaos and destroy communities. That's what I'm against.
Yes, okay, so I'm here with my coworker, a Latino, and I asked him who he would have voted for. He says Trump. And before he explained, I wanted to record a Latino explaining why he would have voted for Trump. He's young, but here we go. And you would have voted for Trump because...
I didn't vote at all, period.
But if you could have.
No, it's not even if I could have, because I could have.
Okay.
I didn't vote, period.
Okay.
But if I had to choose between the two, it would have been Trump. Simply because, and I have nothing against a female president. I don't. Because I was calling it before Mexico had their female president, I was telling everybody, I was like, Mexico's gonna have this badass president. This badass lady's coming in, like she's gonna change things, she's gonna make moves, like she's gold, you know, like she's the one to go. She won.
Okay.
And I was saying that before. Kamala, on the other hand, did not have the same vibes as that lady.
Who's that lady?
I don't even know her name, but
pause. Let's go find that lady. And we're back with that lady.
President, badass lady, making moves down there in Mexico. Kamala wouldn't have had the same flow, same vibe. I feel like she would have fucked shit up. Like, I'm all for a female president. She just wasn't.
What do you think about Trump being racist, though?
I don't give a fuck about anybody being racist. I'm racist. I feel like if we all racist and like honest with it, we'd be a lot better. Cause like in all honesty,
this is going on TikTok.
We all gotta deal with each other. Like imagine this. We got white people that make cheese. Just hypothetically, we got white people that make cheese. We got black people that make shrimp. Ain't nothing got to do with races. We got Mexicans that make carne asada. Mexicans love cheese. We're gonna go over there with the white folk. Hey, they want some steak. We're gonna trade. I want some shrimp. I'm gonna go trade.
Okay.
Black folk want some carne. They're gonna go trade. Black folk want some cheese. They're gonna go trade. We all gotta deal with each other. Don't mean we gotta like each other. There could be that line of just like respect, and that's all it comes down to. Just I don't know. And words is one thing. Yeah, I feel like actions is a different thing. Cause like I've seen people, black and white people, races and stuff, working in the same environment, saying the most horrific shit. Any other person comes into that environment, they're like, what? Nah, you just can't hang with them. That's just what it is. They have their own flow. They have their well standing. They go home though. They don't have to deal with each other.
And this is a Trump supporting Latino.
I wouldn't say Trump supporting, but if I chose between the two, it would have been Trump.
And we're off.
Meet Feliza Martinez, a mother of 5 who takes time off her regular job to volunteer for a nonprofit that helps immigrant families. When federal agents show up to detain parents, she helps move their children to safe houses so they are not swept up in the process. She's also a 3-time Trump voter. Watch.
You know something? I voted for Trump. And I really thought that he was just going to take the criminals, the bad people out of here. But being in the front line and what I've experienced and seen, I wish I would have never voted for him. It's just not Christianity. What he's doing, it's not Christian. Not my beliefs.
All right, so she backed the idea of deporting violent criminals and admits that she ignored the stories of family separations that happened under the first Trump term. She also says she voted for him 3 times because of his tough stance on abortion and gender-affirming care for youth. But in the past 2 months, after seeing federal agents forcefully detain her neighbors, she says she's done with Trump and wouldn't vote for him again, which, okay, I mean, he can't run again, but I get the spirit of the gesture. And look, it's great that she's volunteering now, but she voted for the hostile environment these families are in. I'm not dismissing her shift. It's great that she's seen the impact, but I hope that she channels that energy into electing Democrats from here on out.
Latino voters helped seal President Donald Trump's return to power in 2024.
People that come from where I come from, they don't meet the president, so I'm lucky, I'm gonna say this, but we need you. We need you back, right?
This time around, they could be the reason why he loses control of the House and possibly the Senate. More than a year into Trump's second presidency, the same issues that helped send him back to the White House rank as the top concerns among Latinos ahead of the midterm elections this November. An exclusive national poll by Florida Atlantic University for Bloomberg News found that the economy and immigration remain top of mind. Latinos, who earn less on average than the overall US population, are hit especially hard by affordability issues, including the recent jump in gas prices. And on top of economic concerns, Trump's deportation efforts have also damaged the GOP's standing with Hispanic voters. The shift in sentiment seemed to be behind Texas State Representative James Tallarico's recent victory in the Democratic primary. Tallarico performed particularly well in many of the southern border districts that turned out heavily for Trump in 2024. Miami, on the other hand, elected a Democratic mayor for the first time in nearly 3 decades in December. That reality is prompting a growing number of Republican leaders to flash warning signs.
With only a handful of seats needed to give Democrats control of the House, nearly a dozen Republican-held House seats with sizable Hispanic populations are considered vulnerable in the November elections.
This Latino is very upset. That's because he voted for Trump, thinking, as he says, that the Trump administration was going to be better for our economy. The problem is, he's a business owner. He owns a detail shop. 100% of his clientele are Latinos. Latinos are the ones affected by this administration, whom he voted for. Classic FAFO. Because he voted Trump thinking that Trump was going to save somehow with a magic wand the economy. But his clientele is primarily Latino. How are you going to vote for Trump knowing that Trump is going to come after your whole clientele? So now he comes to TikTok with sobbing eyes saying that with a heavy heart, he's going to shut down his business because no Latinos are bringing their vehicles to get them detailed because they can't get out of their house afraid that ICE is going to come get them. My question is, did you think this through, sir? Did you think this through? You're a business owner. 100% of your clientele is Latino, and you're going to vote for the one guy that's going to destroy your own business. So I'm going to hold a moment of silence because his business is shutting down. He says that in 60 days, he's not had one client bring their vehicle to get a detail. No, they're not. They're not, because they're too afraid of leaving their home. Yeah, they're afraid. They're looking over their shoulder because of people like you. Yeah, see? So you want Latinos to be heard by this administration, but you still want them to come and serve you and help you grow. I get it. I get it. Yeah, I'm going to hold a moment of silence for you closing your business, sir. Anyway.
Latinos for Trump, come to the front. Come to the front. I hope you guys are getting your papers and you're getting your ass over to the office and signing up for the war because it's your time to shine. You guys think you're better than all the other Latinos? Well, go fight for our country, girl.
On this episode of FAFO, titled
I will vote for Donald Trump.
So here's how this one started. So back in January of 2025, after Donald's inauguration to his second term, user Myra here on TikTok made this video post that went pretty viral.
This is so crazy that we voted for Trump. We trust him with the words that he promised us Latinos.
You know, as much as Donald lies about a lot of things, this is the one thing that he mainly kept his promise on in terms of mass deportations. Because he didn't lie about this one. And I'm mentioning this to Myra because let's see how she's doing a lot more recently. Because if you take a little peruse on her TikTok page, she posted this image on October 10th of 2025, saying, "This is not fair. Someone send this. They took my uncle this morning. This is not fair for people going through this. Everyone be careful because they're breaking windows." And I did a drop down on that photo for this caption where it says, "Everyone be careful because they're breaking window and they took my Theo this morning. This is my Theo from my daddy's side and this is so sad because I can't help him because a lawyer over 10K, I can't afford him right now, but me and my family on my dad's side's coming together with some money. If you want to help us with $1 or anything, please help." You see, while I do feel some compassion and empathy for the uncle, I don't feel compassion for Myra because she voted for the guy that clearly ran on mass deportations and now she got one of her very own. I'm trying to understand where the disconnect was and like what her logic is, but for me it's no comprendo. And to be fair to your uncle, I genuinely hope that he's able to get out in some sort of way, but you did get what you voted for. But anyways, have the day you voted for. Bye.
Tras la detención de la joven cubana Laura de la Caridad González Sánchez, líderes del movimiento anticomunista I-220A expresaron su apoyo.
Ay, 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 por Dios, yo voy a votar por Donald Trump. Economía.
There you go, ladies and gents. Another Cuban anti-communism group who voted for communism and now is angry at Donald Trump because he is imposing his mass deportation on Cubans in Miami. Pero ven acá, caballero. Olvídate de eso, caballero. Pero ¿qué tú crees que es lo que iba a pasar a hacer? What do you think was gonna happen? Los leopardos te están comiendo la carita, mira. Ahora, qué rica sabe la arepa. ¿Viste cómo se aprende? You see how you learn?
So this Latina, who is a Trump supporter, got deported from Mexico back to the US, and I want to use this video to show y'all, no matter how hard you try, you will never be white. And I say that because she made videos going, oh, look, people are making too big of a deal about Trump and the deportations. He's only going after criminals. If you want to be here, you should do it the right way. Then she goes to Mexico, gets stopped by authorities. While she's coming back from a concert, they check her papers and then they deport her. Now, they deported her because she overstayed her visa. I know some people are like, well, you should have done it the right way. Calm down. Let's just give her a little grace here. She's not a criminal. Sure, she has ideologies you don't agree with, but she wasn't committing any crimes. She was down in Mexico partying it up. Now, this is where the you'll never be white part comes in. There's over 1 million undocumented white people living in Mexico. They are taking advantage of the system. They're not paying taxes. They're down there just partying it up. And like advocates in Mexico have been saying, that authorities don't go after white people. They actually go after brown people. So you were racially profiled in a country that you were trying to get dual citizenship for. So if you were racially profiled in Mexico, what do you think is going to happen to you in the US when Trump comes into office? Because there are at least 500,000 white people undocumented in the US, and they're never bothered. Because I need you to remember that the immigration system was never set up to hurt white people. It was set up to hurt people of color globally. Our movements are constantly restricted, while white people are never bothered when they do the same thing we do. So as much as you say, oh, well, if you want to come to this country, you have to do it the right way. It is not about doing it the right way. It is always, the immigration system has always been about hurting black and brown people, no matter where we are in the world. So please keep thinking how you're safe now that you're in the US, back in your home country. They don't see you as a US citizen either. They want to take away your citizenship. They want to denaturalize people. So please, let's get rid of that colonized mind, because this immigration system was never made for us.
I'm gonna be the one to say this and I'll take the backlash, but some people in our Latino community están pero rete pendejos. And I'm gonna give you an example. There's this video of this Latino dude in North Carolina. His name is Willie, out here crying on camera because ICE pulled up on him after he voted for Trump. I swear to God, Latino Trump voters gotta have a special mental condition going on, thinking that we're gonna get honorary whiteness just because they voted for Trump on election day. Like, bro, ¿cómo te explico? Your accent is deeper than the Grand Canyon, and you really thought Trump was gonna look at you and say, oh, no, not him. He's one of the good ones. Yeah, they didn't. Instead of that, DHS rolls out Operation Charlotte's Web on November 15th, 2025. And I know what you're thinking. Charlotte's Web, isn't that the Piggy movie? Sounds friendly, right? Wrong. It's an immigration crackdown. They said they were going after the worst of the worst, the criminal illegal aliens. Same shit they always say. And Willie is shocked Pikachu face. He's like,
he said he got to catch the delinquentes? Criminals. Yeah. And right now, he don't follow to criminals. He go to specific to Latino people. Why Latino people? Because in the last Saturday, example, behind to me, I see the white people, the black people, and some people, Indian people, and Chinese people, and me. The DHS come specific to me.
Yeah, no Sherlock. We've been telling you this. This man is acting like the government did a surprise twist ending. Like, bro, this is not a plot twist. It was literally in the trailer. And he says he regrets voting for Trump 100%. He's like...
And Willie, you told me that you voted for President Trump in 2024. Do you regret that decision? ¿Te arrepientes esa decisión? Yes, 100%. Why do you regret that decision? That's because it's nothing that's true. It's not true.
And honestly, I feel bad for him as a human, pero como comunidad latina, muchos están bien rete pendejos. Neta, they really thought Trump was gonna deport those other Latinos coming in. Literally, you're closing the door on the people coming after you, thinking you're the white man's favorite minority.
Welcome to another episode of FAFO, where I bring you stories of MAGA voters that have entered the find out phase of their vote. And let's take this one back to November 6th of 2024 and see how it started, because Nuvis Alvarez posted this on Facebook that says, breaking, Rump is practically the President of the United States. Full coverage on my show, where she puts 2 heart emojis. Well, let's see how she's doing now.
A few moments later.
Because she left this very lengthy post on her Facebook that says the following: I'm a Republican, and I voted for Rump. But what I'm seeing every day has nothing to do with what our president promised. He said that criminals would be deported, not workers who have no criminal record. I'm seeing destroyed families, good people living with fear. Many here talk about whether they pay little or steal the jobs from Americans. Nothing true. Many businesses are being affected by lack of people to work. What will happen next? Are they going to bring people from Florida City or Homestead to work here? Then the problems begin, as it has happened before. This is a country of immigrants. We all depend on a grandfather or a great-grandfather who came to this country looking for a better life for his family, which is horrible what Biden did, we agree, but many people who today are persecuted by immigration entered through the port of entry and gave him some type of documents for a way to the residence. Almost are in the immigration process with a clean record, and immigration is taking them away from the right to obtain a legal status by taking them before their appointment with immigration. Now, right now, I'm wondering what she thought mass deportations means. It's 2 words that are very simple to understand, yet a lot of people don't understand it for some reason. But to Naiuvis or Nuvis or however you pronounce your name, I'm just gonna end this video with the song for you.
I will vote for Donald Trump.
But anyways, have the day that you voted for. Bye.
You guys, stop what you're doing. You're going to want to hear this. CNN came down to South Texas to interview Trump voters, Gen Z Trump voters, who are still in college. And you have to see their responses to what they said. Take a look.
$32 and I'm barely at 8 gallons. That's what happens when you vote MAGA, baby.
That's what happens when you vote MAGA, baby, is what he said. He was in Edinburgh, Texas. It's a smaller town near McAllen, and he is also in college at the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. What he said next is going to surprise you. Take a look.
I don't regret my vote, though. Trump actually had a plan. Give the American people what they want, but don't talk about it, like actually deliver.
I don't regret my vote, though. I don't regret my vote, though. He's also Latino. These are my people. And I hate to say that Trump overwhelmingly won Hidalgo County and here in South Texas because of the strategic investment that they had here in the state and in South Texas. The investment they took in the Latino community. As Latinos, once we see people investing in our communities, we're going to go ahead and earn their trust. They're going to earn our trust. We're going to trust in them because they're showing up in our communities, being in our faces 24/7 constantly. And let me show you another individual.
The Republican Party promised, and President Trump promised, affordability, and that's what we want. If we don't fix that quick enough, by the time the midterms come around, unfortunately,
we're going to see a bloodbath. We're going to see a bloodbath.
We're going to see a bloodbath in 2026 by the time the midterms roll around. And that's the fact of the matter. Once the midterms come around come November, Republicans are going to overwhelmingly lose. Mark my words. Voters are waking up and realizing that Donald Trump has turned their back on them. He took us into an unjust war with Iran. Gas prices are at an all-time high. People can't find work, and everything is rising by the day. But I wanted to highlight those 2 voters because what they said is extremely interesting, but also the same. They're talking about the high cost of gas when you have one voter not regretting their vote and another individual who is concerned about the state of the economy and affordability. People are waking up and realizing things, like I just said. And these are Gen Z voters. And he won Gen Z here in South Texas as well. But let me know your thoughts down below. Share this far and wide. And as always, follow along for more. And I also just want to say that to the first individual is why Trump said he loves the poorly educated. I don't know who he is, but he is very poorly educated. Like the majority, just like all Trump voters, I should say. Donald Trump loves the uneducated because they don't know what they're doing. He can feed them lies, he can feed them propaganda, and they'll believe it because they can't do their own research. And it's sad to say, but it's the truth. What are you gonna do?
I vote Republican, of course.
Coming from Cuba, we all know what communism and socialism looks like.
Donald Trump's, the values he stands
for me, it's the same values I share.
Kamala, she's horrible. She is socialist.
For years, many have wondered how and why so many Latinos are voting Republican. Thanks to a recent report from Vox, we can look to Florida to provide the answer. Here's why. Today, Vox released a look at how Florida went from being a swing state to an almost fully red state, and Latino voters are a huge part of it. If you take a look at Miami-Dade County, for example, where the population is nearly 70% Latinos, voters have voted overwhelmingly more Republican each year. And this pattern can be seen throughout the state of Florida. So what is bringing Latinos to the Republican side? Well, money. This chart shows how much money Republicans have spent on Spanish-speaking campaign ads in the state of Florida. Now take a look at how much less Democrats have spent on Spanish-speaking ads. Combining Spanish-language ads that sell the so-called American dream to immigrants with others that compare Biden to figures like Fidel Castro is bound to make Latinos from nations like Cuba, Venezuela, and Colombia vote Republican. So why are Democrats not putting more money into Latino voters? Republicans are clearly taking advantage of the fact that Democrats take our vote for granted.
This is not getting nearly enough attention, but you need to hear it. Lost in the headlines around Iran, Pam Bondi, and Kristi Noem getting eviscerated on Capitol Hill, and all the other chaos swirling around the predator blob, was a number of articles analyzing the behavior of Hispanic voters in the Texas primaries. And this is a thread I've sown through about a dozen videos over the last year, going back to where Texas Republicans first redrew their congressional maps based on the Hispanic vote for Trump in 2024. I've maintained that this is going to backfire on them, because they drew their districts based on the assumption that any district Trump won by at least 10 points would be safe enough to water down, even though Trump wouldn't be on the ballot again. So then now what did we learn on Tuesday? First, in Cameron County, which is near the very tip of South Texas, which is home to almost 500,000 Texans and 85% of them are Hispanic, Trump won in 2024 with a 6-point margin. But on Tuesday, 3 times as many voters voted in the Democratic primary as the Republican primary, with a full 71% of all voters who voted on Tuesday taking a Democratic ballot. And it's not just the party split, because James Tallarico won that county with a 2-to-1 margin, receiving over 20,000 votes just in the primary, which is almost 4 times as many as John Cornyn and almost 5 times as many as Ken Paxton. Maybe even crazier, in that county, James Tallarico and Jasmine Crockett got about 60% of the votes that Kamala Harris got in that county in 2024. Needless to say, it is not normal for a Senate primary in a non-presidential cycle to come anywhere close to the results of an actual presidential election. But that's what we're seeing, and in fact, in 5 other Hispanic majority counties in South Texas, Tallarico and Crockett combined for more votes than Kamala Harris got in 2024 per county. And some of those very counties are counties that Donald Trump won but Ted Cruz lost on the same ballot, proving that in 2024 Donald Trump's coattails were about as long as his damp little fingers. Now they're gone entirely, leaving a massive opportunity for someone like Tallarico to exploit.
Latinos, listen to this study.
Trump's approval rating among Latinos dropped from 41% in February of 2025 to 22% a year later, according to one poll. Another poll found that over 30% of Latinos have considered leaving America in the past 6 months.
I'm not gonna lie, for me it's like, what is plan B? Where am I going?
A stark contrast from the 2024 election. Then, the biggest pro-Trump swings were in South Texas, where 12 of the 14 counties along the Mexican border voted for him.
We won more Hispanic American votes than any Republican has ever gotten before by a lot.
His support among Hispanics peaked just in time for the election. Polls show it surged from 36% in 2020 to 48% in 2024. Luck played a role. Americans were still reeling from the inflation that had followed the pandemic and had memories of the disorder at the southern border.
I'm going to tell you, I'm from one of those counties that went from blue to red after decades of being blue. And I understand this take, but I believe it's a lot deeper than that. These areas don't vote. The turnout is very low. That is a major part of why these areas went red as well.
Today, Hispanics overwhelmingly disapprove of Trump's handling of immigration. And many are unhappy with the economy too. Many voters believe presidents have more control over prices than they really do. This helped Trump in 2024. But now it hurts him, especially since it is obvious how his tariffs and war on Iran have raised prices for Americans.
I actually believe it's going to decide a lot, because right now Latinos are engaged. And I mean, Texas did a major F up. Watch this.
When redrawing districts to benefit themselves in Texas, Republicans assumed that Hispanic support would remain at 2024 levels, but it probably won't. Nationwide, a modest 10% swing puts at least 10 of the party's seats in the House of Representatives seriously at risk. In dozens more, Latinos could tip the outcome if races are close. Record-breaking turnout in November 2025 helped Democrats win the governorships of Virginia and New Jersey. This increase in turnout was mostly driven by Latinos who had previously not voted.
Haha, what did I say? Latinos who previously have not voted. And Texas went and gerrymandered, rigged these maps to benefit them because Trump asked for more seats here in Texas, and Governor Abbott said, I got you, baby girl. But if you look at the midterms and the record breakout, and you look at the counties that are Latino, majority Latino, you see how engaged these counties are, how they had record numbers for primary voting. And you also see how they carried candidates like James Tallarico in the state of Texas to victory. It was the Latino vote. And it wasn't the 2024 Latino vote. This was much bigger. There were so many more people that showed up to vote that have previously not voted. So you, get your mom, your primas, your tias, your kids, your huercos, las cuñadas, las nueras, everybody needs to be registered to vote. And you have to help them get out and vote. We got this.
Those two co-workers, like that absolutely took me out. Well, it's obviously the one guy, but I'm sure the co-worker that recorded it was like, oh no, I have got to get this on camera. You could tell by the expression on his face, like he was like, ooh, I gotta hear this. And the other co-worker did not disappoint. And I laugh, but in a way it's kind of sad in a way, because I'm sure he's not the only one that thinks this way. There's probably so many people around the country who has the same or similar ideals and thought processes as he does. And it's something that we do have to address, because, you know, if someone is feeling like about both of the candidates, but would choose the one who would do all of this with the deportations and everything, and still say that he would be better than Kamala, that is crazy to me. Now, of course, he has the right to have his own beliefs. So does everyone else. I cannot tell anyone to vote or do anything a certain way. The reason why I make these videos is just to show that what everything we said at the beginning before he got elected, it's coming true. You're not getting anything that you voted for. Maybe the only thing you could say is these deportations. But like I said, I almost don't even want to count that, because that doesn't fully affect your everyday life. Even though some people were hell-bent on wanting to get all of the illegals out of here. We want to close the border, blah, blah, blah. What else are you getting? Nothing is affordable. Everything has just gone up in the past almost year and a half. Nobody has ever been able to tell me, besides deportations, what else have you gained from this man being in office again? Absolutely nothing. And nobody will ever be able to convince me otherwise. Now, of course, unless you're a billionaire just hanging around and watch this video, then I might believe you gained something. Because, I mean, to me, those are the only people truly getting anything out of him being in office again. But just going back to it, it's kind of crazy when you hear somebody like tell their thought processes out loud. I mean, just the whole thing was just kind of funny, but I know he's not the only one, and I'm going to be the one to admit it's just, I feel Kamala probably lost a lot of people is because she didn't like fully go out there and like say everything that she was going to do to benefit the country. We heard some of the things, but I don't feel like she really honed in on it. And I've done many videos where I've mentioned Kamala, and I say it almost every time. I don't think that we would have a perfect presidency if she were in office. Like, everything wouldn't magically get better, right? And you're not going to satisfy 300 million people in this country. Of course, not counting children, but you know what I mean. Or maybe you just didn't want to see a black female president in office. I don't know. I'm not putting words into his mouth. It just really goes to show that, like I said, we told all of these people that this was what's going to happen. Everything is literally falling into place like we all knew it would, and we warned everybody that it would. Innocent people are getting deported. You know, all of these people are coming on to claim, oh, I thought that it was just the criminals he's going to be focusing on deportations, when there were literal people at the Republican National Convention holding up signs saying mass deportations now. I mean, what would make you think that he was going to only literally focus on the criminals? Like, wouldn't that be what Biden was doing in the first place? I mean, I know that's two different administrations, but that's what every president is focusing on. So why do you think it would just be the criminals under his administration when he told you loud and clear, he said what he said and did not stutter, that this was going to be the main focus of his second term? And now you have all of these people that are pleading and begging with him to stop all of the things going on with ICE and, you know, stop with all of the mass deportations, when he told you that's what he was planning on doing. But you were out here with your flags and caps and I will vote for Donald Trump. But I mean, it's crickets now. Because we literally told you that this would happen. But again, he conned you guys and brainwashed y'all into thinking that it was just going to be the criminals. Why would he stop there when he could get at anybody who's working on their immigration status on the pathway to at least getting a green card and then citizenship? And the one girl that I have in here, I wanted to include her because that's, again, probably the thought process of a lot of people. And she makes kind of a good point because, I mean, you can't assume just because they're Latino, they're going to automatically go with who's going to want to keep everyone here. Not everybody is going to be a single issue voter. But I mean, when it comes to your best interest, and I feel again that Trump brainwashed a lot of these people and fear-mongered them to the fact that like some of this stuff is so widespread to where everybody all around the country has to be in fear of that happening to them. Like, oh, having to deal with the transgender like teachers and people going into the bathrooms and stuff. Like, think about it. How many times everybody's different. It depends on where you live. And like, if you're out and about all the time, if you're outside, I don't know. I'm kind of a homebody, so I'm not out there like that. But think about how many times you encounter someone who's transgender and you have to worry about that, let alone with your kids being by themselves. Think about how many people in a school who might be transgendered. So why is that something that everybody felt like they had to worry about? And then she had the nerve to say that, oh, she doesn't want just everybody crossing over and the criminals and they're getting $10,000 and killing babies and leaving them, in the ditches. That is purely, she heard that somewhere and she ran with it. It was somebody from MAGA. She heard that and she went repeat it. And she thought that's something that all of a sudden everybody is in danger. Well, I hate to break it to you, but there's criminals who are American citizens and could do the very same thing. And first of all, how are they going to be getting that much money? Again, like, what benefits is an immigrant going to be getting if they don't have a social security number? I mean, like I said, correct me in the comments if there's a way possible for that. But I mean, I can't think of any. For any type of government benefits, you have to be a citizen with a social security number. But I mean, that's just my logic. If I'm wrong, I could definitely take back what I said and admit that I'm wrong. I have no problem doing that. A lot of these people just took what they heard and got scared and just ran with it. And they were probably like, well, I'm here, so F what the other people gotta go through. If me and my family are good, then whatever. I gotta make sure all of this other stuff doesn't happen. Like, the world is just a dangerous place. I'm not saying that I think everybody should just come over here without any, due diligence being done or due process. I do think that there needs to be like things put into place, of course, but I just feel like sometimes the way that they speak when, again, going back to that one creator, her own mom was an immigrant from Mexico and she did it the right way, but she was given the chance to do it the right way. That's the thing. You don't know with the innocent people who are just here to make a better life for their families and for themselves, who are working an honest job. They mind their business. They may have been on the path, but now families are being torn apart because of that. But you let fear determine your vote, and look at what you're getting. I mean, she might not be personally affected at the moment, but it's affecting people that she knows for sure. It's just really funny because it's not really, but it is in the same time, because it's literally happening and it did not take long to happen. I mean, the mass deportations have been happening since not long after he got into office. He wasted no time. I just don't get where the confusion was as to like he was going to like take it easy and just focus on one dangerous group of people, which are the criminals. Oh my God. Now it's just thousands of families that are getting torn apart because of this. And even the guy who founded the Latinos for Trump can't even escape it. It's not funny, but again, it is, because obviously he couldn't vote, but this is what he supported. So I'm sorry, I don't feel bad, but now he has to endure what he supported other people to have to endure. And the sad part is that even though he was in ICE custody, he probably still would be supportive of Donald Trump, even though he is the very man that got him into that position that he is in. He is a victim to his own things that he supported. And I just think that is wild to me. But just so many people are finding out the hard way, and you're not getting anything in return. You're literally sacrificing the people in your community and tearing the families apart for no reason. And you're not getting anything out of this. And you let fear and all of this propaganda that's being put out there like drive you to determine what you were going to vote for when you know that wasn't in your best interest. Just like the news story of the woman that was in Minnesota, but she voted for Trump 3 times, and now she's seeing how he's driving everyone apart in the community with these deportations. It's like, yeah, you would think you would have saw that the first term. Like, this did not just start this. I mean, it's got really bad this term, and how they're doing it, it's really bad, and you're hearing more about it. But this is nothing new. And the fact that you voted for him 3 times, you really shouldn't even be allowed to do anything to do with immigrants, because you almost shouldn't even be trusted. But I mean, it seems like she is a trusted member of the community to help with families that are being broken apart with these deportations. But at least she's trying to make it up. I know I shouldn't give her a pass for that, because she's the main cause of it. I feel sad, and to anyone who is Latino or Latina, if you didn't vote for this, this is not for you. I know sometimes when you bring like, you know, race and nationality and everything into it, it might seem like I'm gearing it towards everybody. It's definitely not. Again, it's just, we told you so. I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but we literally told you what was going to happen. And I say this in every video, it did not have to come to this. I get it. There may have been some things that you didn't fully agree with Kamala with, but I'm pretty certain that families would be still together right now if she were in office. That I could almost guarantee. Of course, I don't know the ins and outs of our immigration, like how that works, like having to report with, you know, the offices and everything. Pretty positive that it would not be this bad if she were in office right now. I get it. Like, you're not going to agree with the candidate on everything. And I know that everyone's not going to be a single issue voter. But you had the information. He told you up front what he was going to do. The criminals was just a talking point, but he meant everybody who is not a legal citizen. And the fact of it is also is that he's trying to get rid of birthright citizenship as well. So even if you were born here, you might be at jeopardy. He might be able to do a lot in his remaining 2 years and change in his term. We don't know what could happen like by the end of next month. We don't know what's going to happen by the end of this month. I feel bad, and at the same time, this is what you voted for, so I can't really feel bad because, as I think I've said in a previous video, I can't care more than you. I'm not a part of the Latin community, but I voted for everyone to remain together, and each individual families, whether you're an immigrant or you were born here and you're a child of immigrants, I voted for you to be able to stay together. But people within your own community are acting like you're some kind of, like alien life form that doesn't deserve to be here. And I don't think that that's right. And there's always people coming into my comments saying that, oh, well, these videos don't help the cause. You're just as worse as they are because you're making fun of them and mocking them. You have the right to believe that, but I don't believe that fully. I do agree that it's not going to be the most conducive, but when you have people who willingly voted to tear families apart and do other things and make everything expensive and completely change people's lives forever, then if you can't take a simple video or a few clips of people calling it out and seeing how people have to eat their words because they voted for this, then so be it. I'm sorry if again, some people might not like that, but I would rather have to, because I know it, let's say if I voted for him and I'm kind of feeling remorseful, I will take that ridicule when I know there's someone out there who doesn't have like their father or their mother or both parents. Or maybe even ICE killed their parents while trying to take them into custody. Let's not forget about the Minneapolis citizens that we lost earlier in the year who were American citizens. So it's not just immigrants that are getting killed. So lives have been changed forever due to this. So if y'all want to call it that, cool. But I'm not going to stop calling people out for doing this, and we have people out there whose lives have been changed forever. I don't take that lightly. So if you can't take a little, oh, haha, then sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'm not trying to be offensive about it or mean or a bitch, but, these people had no thoughts in mind for anyone else. So if they can't take a little joke or some criticism, then that's not my problem. I voted for none of this to be happening, so I don't have anything to feel bad about. So, the guilt trip, that's not for me. That's for the people that voted for Trump. So, thank you for your comment, but that doesn't apply for me. I'm so sorry. And there's a lot of people out there who have harsh words for Trump supporters. Again, I don't like to be harsh because I like to, have a little compassion, even though, again, I know a lot of people don't like that because I shouldn't feel bad. But, I'm a human just like everybody else. I don't want to see this happening to anybody. But when you have the information in front of you and the man said it out of his mouth many times and literally told people, and this is for everybody, not even the Latin community, but he's told y'all, like a lot of people remind me in my comments, saying that he doesn't care about you. He only wants your vote. And we're seeing that he is standing 10 toes down on that and meant it. But people want to act surprised now, and this is what's happening. They're writing letters on Facebook, as we see in Philip's videos. Philip always has a Facebook letter on his videos. That's why I like to include it. But he has good FAFO, so I'm always going to include him. But we see it almost every day. I don't really go on Facebook, but if you did, you would probably see all kind of people writing letters to him, trying to tell him to fix this or stop this or make this better. This isn't what I voted for. Yes, it is. You just don't want to admit to that because you're being affected by it. But okay, you guys, I've been talking a lot on this topic. I can't talk forever and ever. I'm disappointed. I'm not saying that Kamala would have been the angel on earth or heaven sent or anything, or the magical candidate that would have made everything perfect. Of course not. I said that already. We cannot let people get away with this with no accountability and they just be like, oh, well, I didn't know. No, that's not going to work. People's lives have been changed forever. And it was just because you went on an I hope or I thought. I thought he was going to do this. I hope that he was going to do that, when he told you he wasn't. He told you exactly what he was going to do, but you just heard what you wanted to hear. But I don't know, it's not going to get any better, I'm sure. At this point, it's probably not going to be so until he's out of office, or at least maybe when the midterms happening, because like I'm going to call it, and that's why I wanted to put a couple of the tide changing videos in here from these creators, because it's turning already. It didn't even take a year for people to start changing their tune, and it's going to be record numbers in these midterms. People are fed up. People are over this shit, and rightfully so. I hope y'all do the right thing to at least make up for what y'all have done to innocent people. I could predict already, I don't need to get to November, Democrats are taking over Congress. It's no question about it. This is going to be the easiest midterm predictions probably in history. So just make sure to tell all of your family members, friends, to go out there and vote. Gotta throw that in there because it's important, but because we still have, as the co-worker guy said, he didn't even vote, but he has such an opinion about it. Anyway, you guys, it's a lot we have to do. It just seems like things are just all over the place, and it's gonna take a lot of fixing to undo a lot of this. But let me know what you guys think about this topic down below. You know, I'm always in the comments. And if you made it this far, I've done a lot of yapping. I think this might be the most I've ever spoken on a topic. But I mean, I just had to say it. It's a lot of people might be mad at me for how I'm saying it. I just speak what's coming out my mind. I don't have a script, because I just want to post what I truly feel as I say it. And I hope some people can understand that. If not, I'm sorry if I offended you. That's not my intention, but we need a wake-up call. And I'm just little old me here, like nobody's probably even going to really watch all of this. Someone has to say it. And there are clearly other people out here saying it, and that's why I wanted to put this video out. Because we're going to hold all of these groups accountable. But yeah, you guys, again, if you made it this far, you know I appreciate you as always. It's crazy that some people make it all the way to the end, which I'm so thankful for. But don't forget to like and subscribe if you've gotten anything from this video. If not, of course, you don't have to, but it's always appreciated as well. And yeah, that's all I have. So I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Bye. See you later.